Tran Van Ai, 1925–2002, biography and military career. He was born on September 24, 1925, into a large landowning family in Quang Tri. His father and mother were executed during the first land reform in the central and southern regions of Vietnam through public denunciation and immediate execution. In his youth, he studied under the French curriculum in Hue. In 1942, he graduated from junior high school with a high school diploma. Then, in 1943, he enlisted in the French Army, Armée Française, with the number 36,122. French Colonial Army from July 1943 to March 9, 1945. He enlisted and was transferred to Company 24. Under the 10th Colonial Infantry Regiment of the French, RIC. From early March 1945 to August 1947, transferred to the French 6th Infantry Regiment, China and Laos area. From September 1947 to December 1948, transferred to the 6th French Laos Special Forces Brigade, stationed in Samua, Laos, to assist and protect the king against the Pathet Laotian forces. January 1949. Discharged with the rank of sergeant, according to the discharge papers signed by Captain Monbreau, commander of the 6th French Laos Special Forces Brigade. Vietnamese National Army. In December 1950, the French Army transferred a reconnaissance platoon to the Dalat Joint Military Academy for use in training Vietnamese officer cadets. He was the deputy platoon leader of the reconnaissance platoon, later the 3rd Reconnaissance Regiment. Under the new name of the 3rd Vietnamese Armored Cavalry Regiment, 3e Escadron de Cavalerie Blindée. Unit commander from 1955. Major Tran Van Ai. The first commander was Major Duong Ngoc Lam from July 1954 to 1955. In August of the same year, he left his position as commander of the 3rd Reconnaissance Regiment. Later renamed the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment of Vietnam. From August 1955 to July 1956, he was selected to participate in a U.S. Army course at the Command and Staff College, Fort Leavenworth, Kansas. The first course for Vietnamese officers consisted of 3 officers, Major Nguyen Phuc Vinh Loc, Major Tran Van Ai, and Major Nguyen Bao Tri. In July 1956, upon returning to Vietnam, he was assigned to the position of Chief of Staff at the Military University, a position without real authority. In April 1959, he was transferred to work as a staff officer. He was involved in the plot at the Vung Tau Freshwater Officer Training School. In early 1961, he was recalled to take up the position of Commander-in-Chief of the National Security and Civil Defense Force, his first commander, in charge of the Strategic Hamlet Program. The Director General of the Strategic Hamlet Program at this time was Mr. Tran Van Kim, a representative from Vinh Long Province, and also the younger brother of Mrs. Tran La Zon, wife of Mr. Go Din Nhu. Mr. Kim was a civilian, fulfilling the U.S. requirement not to appoint someone from the military. In July 1962, he and Mr. Tran Van Kim were summoned to Saigon to meet the Old Man, a term used to refer to President Ngo Dinh Diem, due to a strange incident. According to intelligence records, the 2 men held the highest positions in the Strategic Hamlet Program but were not on the assassination list that the South Vietnamese intelligence had just obtained from the R Bureau. Signed by the Southern Regional Committee, Mr. Le Duan. In December 1962, he received instructions regarding. He served as deputy commander of the Van Kiet National Training Center in Ba Ria, Phuoc Toi, founded by Colonel Nguyen Phuoc Vinh Loc under government directives, and was the commander. After the successful coup of November 1, 1963, which he did not participate in, he was transferred to the General Staff in early January 1964 to await a new appointment. Colonel Vin Locke was promoted to general and handed over the Van Kiet Center to his successor. Embassy official Rufus Phillips, U.S. advisor to Go Din New's Strategic Hamlet program, said, "I want to sit down and cry." In September 1965, he was transferred to the 1st Corps under an order signed in January 1965 by General Nguyen Khan. However, a few days later, he was transferred to serve as Deputy Chief of Staff of the 2nd Corps and concurrently as Commander of Pleiku, under the command of the 2nd Corps. Because at that time, the General Staff in Saigon received a request to appoint Lieutenant Colonel Tran Van Ai to the aforementioned position based on practical needs. The telegram was signed by Major General Nguyen Phuoc Vin Locke, commander of the 2nd Corps. He served in the 2nd Corps until September 1967, when he requested discharge due to having served for over 20 years in poor health. In December 1973, he was appointed by the Minister of Planning, Nguyen Tien Hung, to the position of General Inspector and Director of the Ha Tien Cement Factory, a position he held until the events of April 30, 1975. From June 1975 to February 1983, he was released after being sent to several re-education camps in the north. He did not apply for the HO program. He passed away on April 30, 2002 in Vietnam at the age of 78. Family father: Tran Van Then, younger brother of Tran Van Th. Governor General of Nam Dinh during the French colonial period. Mother: Nguyen Thi Cot. Both parents were executed during the first phase of land reform. Following public denunciation by the committee and the people, who were large landowners. Father-in-law: Tran Van Hue. Mother-in-law: Tran Thi Kai. Brother: Tran Van Trong. Wife: Tran Thi Phuong Min, also known as Sang. They had 8 children, 5 sons, 3. Personal information: nationality: Vietnamese, born September 24, 1925, Quang Tri. Vietnam, died April 30, 2002, 78 years old, Saigon, Vietnam. Cause of death: old age. Address: 244 Nguyen Dinh Chu Street, District 3, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Occupation: military. Note: obituary and commendations for former ARVN officer, Lieutenant Colonel Tran Van Ai, passed away in District 3, Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. 3rd Armored Cavalry Battalion, Wikipedia. A squadron refers to a unit of battalion size. The 3rd Armored Cavalry Battalion, formerly the 3rd Armored Regiment and the 3rd Cavalry Regiment of Vietnam, was an armored unit of the Army of the Republic of Vietnam. Formation and different names: January 1, 1954. The 3rd Reconnaissance Regiment was established, also known as the 3rd Long Range Reconnaissance Regiment of Vietnam.